What's good? What's good? What's good? See what's going on here. Be sure there's no echo. Not wondering if there's anybody gonna watch. If you guys are in the chat, why don't you go ahead and say something? I'd love to see if anybody's in there. From the count, it looks like there's 4 people, but I don't know. We'll see if somebody. Hey, here we go. What's going on, Jeffrey? Mr. Clinton. I did not have sexual relations with that woman. See if anybody else will show up. Need to talk about Yu-Gi-Oh. Let's get this door shut open. This lighting. Got terrible shadows. Terrible, terrible, terrible. Don't know how to get these angles. We got some lighting on sale, Cyber Monday, whatever. How you doing, Mr. Tyler Kellerman? Yeah, somebody just said the game is stale. I absolutely agree. But see, that's one of the things I want to talk about that. So we're going to stick a pin in that and see if anybody else shows up. We got 3 people. So maybe if we can get to 5, maybe 10 people, then maybe we'll start what I want to talk about. But yeah, game is definitely stale. And there's a reason for that. I have a Ben 10,000 of Yugioh. What's going on, brother? Thanks for showing up in the chat. But for all the people who are saying the game is stale, just hold a pin in it. I have some thoughts on that, and it's something that I haven't really heard anyone speak about. Been live now for roughly 3 minutes. See if anybody. Oh, I think we're up to 5. So might as well start talking now. I said 5 to 10 people, but let's just be serious. It's a Tuesday night. It's 8 p.m. where I am here in Phoenix, Arizona. So I can't exactly expect a whole bunch of people to just jump on. Hey, Slim, what's going on, my man? Yeah, what's going on, brother? I'm trying to make it to Vegas to the PPG. Hopefully I can show up. Hopefully I can make it out there with my work schedule and everything else. But yeah, so let's just address the elephant in the room. How people are claiming that the game is stale. Let's take everyone back to the Wayback Machine. Circa 2008. Oh man, camera cut out. All right, that was awkward. But anyway, so 2008, Dark Arm Return. Maybe it was in 2007, when people would like slowly build up their decks and acquire all the cards necessary to complete their decks. First of all, Konami kind of hated this because they have never liked generic engine cards and decks. And the player base likes it until something becomes meta and then it hates it. So the meta is kind of like that crazy girlfriend or crazy boyfriend who never... Boy, I tell you, spend all that money on a camera. Spend all that money on a camera, you know, try to get things set up, and then what happens? It doesn't want to work when you finally bust it out. All the testing worked it out fine. But anyway, as I was saying, so Yu-Gi-Oh players have this crazy boyfriend, crazy girlfriend thing going on with the game, and We get upset when we finally get all the cards necessary for a competitive decks. The Decepticons mess with it. Hell yeah, man. Man, you get all these cards ready for a competitive deck, and then what happens? The banhammer swings, or deck is dead, and everybody's in uproar. So then what? Okay, well then you have other decks throughout the years who, regardless of the hits, and we're talking about Black Wings, was that circa 2011, 2012? Like Black Wings would not die. I mean, I think they put like Whirlwind to one and Gale to one, and it was bad. They like total nerf, and then they got that upset people because 5Ds was still running and Crow was a popular character, so that people couldn't play the character deck, but they forced everybody to play these archetypes, and then they gave really cool archetypes to like main characters, and of course people wanted to play those decks. So we're in this situation where people want people want the game to stay fresh, but they don't want to spend a bunch of money on cards because they don't want to get hit. But then if a deck is too good for too long, they want the deck to get hit, and it's just like make up. We as a community, we got to make up our mind. What do you really want? Do you want the longevity of a deck? Do you want to spend? Do you want to drop a couple $100 on a competitive deck? And I'm not necessarily saying one, just competitive. And please refer back to my videos over the years to what a competitive deck is. But do you want to drop money on a competitive deck and not have to worry about it getting nerfed to hell in 6 months? Is that as a community? Is that what we want? If that's what we want, then we got to kind of calm down on the complaints about the state of the meta. All right, and I'll expand on more on that in just a second. Now, if you're like me, especially now in my in my advanced years, if you're like me and you realize this is a hobby, if I wasn't spending money on cardboard, shiny cardboard, and burning money on electronics so that I can make videos about a children's card game, then I'd spend it on drinking or going out to party, or going out drinking, or just going out to eat, or going other places I have no business going. I'd be doing that. But instead I do this. And so then with that said is, think about the people in your life who have crafts as hobby, who like, the amount of money they spend on tools. Like if it's someone who likes to, this like wood crafting, or maybe they like to weld, or people who like to work on cars. The amount of money, I have a partner, the amount of money he pours into cars, it's insane. Like every couple of years, he buys like an old car, drops like maybe 2 or 3 grand on a car and tries to fix it up with the hope of flipping it. But next thing you know, after 10 years, he has 5 fucked up cars sitting in his, it's 5 messed up cars sitting in his backyard, just like, and then he just uses them for parts to work on other cars. But he loves doing it. It's his hobby, and he doesn't look at it as like, well, I got a plus. We have to get that mentality for this game. It is a hobby. Yes, you can make money off of it, but if that's your sole reason for entering into the game, I think you're missing the point. Opportunity cost of each hobby. That's right, that's right. Armor Captain is exactly right. So, now in terms of the game being stale, I said we'd circle back around to this. Do any of you keep up with the OCG? I keep up with the OCG. On YouTube, I'm subscribed to several OCG channels. It's the only place I need to plus is in the game. Yeah, that's right. In-game pluses. Activate, engage, Kagari, engage. I watch the OCG, and they're roughly a set and a half, 2 sets ahead of us. And they're playing the exact same decks we're playing. Salad, Orcus, Sky Striker, Grin Maju, Thunder, and pendulums. They're sets ahead of us, and they're playing exact same decks. That lets you know that there are no new decks on the horizon. So going into next year, they got the structure deck, and that's barely making a ripple. As long as these decks, as long as Orcus is in its current form, why would I play anything else? If you're a salad player and you love that deck, it's head and shoulders above anything else other than the top 4 or 5 decks. It's head and shoulders above anything coming out in the next 2 sets, without a doubt. Why would you spend money on anything else if you have a deck? Even if it's neuter to hell. Resendo Cuevas. I think I said that right. I've been working on my Spanish since I've been living here. I'm in Phoenix, Arizona, so that's why I've been working on my Espanol. But so yeah, I think that's something that you have to think about. There's nothing on the horizon, and that's just where we are. And I think, in my opinion, this is just a culmination of years and years and years of the player base getting horrendously upset about getting the cards, falling in love with the deck, especially if it's a character deck, gathering the cards, spending the time and money to perfect the deck, to maybe bling out the deck, and then once they finally get it all together, Konami goes, chop, and you're like, what the hell is this all for? So I think that's what this all culminates from. In order to change all this, the meta has to be flipped upside down on their head. The Fighting Gentleman. You seem mad. Oh my God! You should link the video. Let people know what's up. Yeah, yeah. I was a clown, but anyway, flip upside head. I mean, and it would hurt me. And I'm telling you, it'll devastate the community. Could you imagine the people who've been playing Orcus or some form of it since March, like myself, and all of a sudden Konami says, skeleton, what chop, off with your head, symbol skeleton, gone, Galatea to 1, then Girsu ban, Babel ban. Could you imagine if, with the player base, to people who absolutely love that deck, what that would do? Especially people who just got their super rare skeletons, finally picked up their last ulti Galatea, and then what chop is gone. I promise that next time I go live, that I'll work on these technical issues. But yeah, I had a lot on my mind. I didn't want to just make a static video about it. I just wanted to go live. It's like now I can actually see who's watching my videos, and I kind of wanted the interaction. Someone asked, "Do you see Yu-Gi-Oh thriving still in 5 years?" Yeah, as long as there's an accompanying anime, there's still, I would say, at least 100,000 people just in the United States who play the game. I mean, it might be apples to oranges, but both of my sons, they play fighting games, and they're still Smash Brothers, like OG Smash Brother tournaments, and that game is like hella old. I mean, how old is that game? What, roughly 15 years or so? Original Smash Brothers, there's still tournaments. So yeah, I think the game is fine. Attendance is fine. Sales are fine. It's just fine. I mean, people come and go. That's just the nature of the beast. For everyone that goes, there's another kid coming up, taking his place, entering the game with their zombie rock warrior dragon deck that swears by their 3 blue eyes and their 3 vampire lord and all their vanilla monsters, and then get mad because the game is too fast. They can't summon their big beaters, and then they learn, oh yeah, I should put more into deck building. This 55 card deck with no searching or draw power, or maybe it's not a good idea. See, I kind of feel like that's the thing with the balance being based on product sales instead of leaning to actual balance. Yeah, yeah, you're right. But check this out, and I'm sure a lot of people already know this. But let's consider something. If you guys have been playing this game for a while, you know that the sales of this game and any other card game is probably 95% driven by the filthy casuals. No disrespect, but the game is definitely driven by the casuals. That's, won't let you post. Someone. So, I don't know how to, hold on, I don't know how to, I don't know how to let you post links. Sorry. Anyway, so it's just, the game is driven by casuals. The company makes more money off of the little Timmies. No, you made a second on that video. Yeah, I was super trollish back then. I still have a lot of troll in me, fighting gentlemen. But anyway, so the game is driven by the little Timmies. They're in the Walmart, they're at Target, or they're at GameStop or whatever. I said, Mom, Yu-Gi-Oh! And Mom might buy one or two. More of those transactions goes on than the tryhards are at the card shop and they're like, oh, I never pay for my cards. I just trade. Or, I use all my store credit to get cards. So the game is driven more by that end than the player base. I mean, you consider at any given time how many thousands of people are playing at a tournament compared to the millions of kids that are in line at Walmart or Target or what have you. They just pick up random cards. That's what drives the sales. And in my opinion, the ban list is just an afterthought. So in order to get fuckers like us who are tryhards and I don't pay for my cards, I trade for it, or I just use my store credit. In order to kind of get us to come out of pocket, they try to have cool tournaments, get our money that way. They have a ban list to kind of force our hand. They kind of, yes, they respond to complaints in the community when we have cancer, Firewall Dragon, or, Gumblar, those kind of things. They respond to that. But I think Konami's gotten themselves in a corner with this meta. How do they create a new archetype deck strategy that will compete with what they have now? And that's not even enough, to be honest. See, not every card on the balance is on the balance simply because the card is good. Yeah. I haven't seen that video, but yeah, you're probably right. I have to think about that some. But let's think about something. I remember before Spiral was like tier 0, there were a lot of people, and the people I'm talking about, only play a deck because no one else is playing it. They got the hair, and the hair covers one eye like they're Sasuke. You know what I'm saying? And I play Spirals because it takes skill. When the deck was clearly terrible. But I play Spirals because it's cool. And then as soon as Spirals got good support that made the deck good, they got mad and stopped playing it. I think because they've been playing the deck for so long, and the thought of someone being better at their pet deck drove them insane. Then all of a sudden it's, oh, you're just jumping on the base. The game driven by casuals isn't only Yu-Gi-Oh! It's the majority of games. Oh, absolutely. That's what it is. That's it. Magic, Pokemon, all the games. They make the companies just make so much money with the distributors, and then the distributors dump tons of product at Walmart and Target and all these different outlets, and then the little Timmies just grab the product, product with this, just just hand over fist. What I'm saying? That's where the money is made. But anyway, like I was saying, the company's just gotten themselves I can't get this to stop. I think I'm gonna have to consult with someone who's better at this than me. But anyway, before I go too much of a tangent, let's just get back to the Sasuke analogy. The people who spirals. The deck became tier zero. The kids who had spirals stopped playing spirals, and then got mad because spirals were everywhere. First it was nowhere, then it was everywhere, and people got mad. And I think there's too much of that in this community. You know, no one plays the deck until it's good, and then people get mad because now everyone's just playing that deck. I remember, like, you think about all the Blue Eyes players before Blue Eyes was really good a few or several years ago. How mad were they when that became a tier zero, or not tier zero, but when that became like a tier one deck, when Blue Eyes was tier eyes, Vanilla Monsters was like a good deck. You had the three soul charge and all the cool combos you could do with Blue Eyes. Like casuals lost their shit because everybody was playing their deck. We have too much of that in the game, and we're never going to be in a place where people are just satisfied with the game. Then, additionally, like I was saying to that, Konami can't do anything to. All right, I think I'm gonna switch. I'm gonna switch cameras. So if you guys want to come back, then that's cool. If not, I understand. Dub K and I'm out.